So, you're no longer a kid, but you still can't cook. Without a mama bird up-chucking down your throat, you're unsure how you'll get fed. Too far? On today's episode of Extra Credit, I'm teaching you how to feed and water yourself. We're talking everything budgeting, grocery shopping, and defying instant ramen gravity. This is Extra Credit, the series where we talk about student experience beyond the brochure. Life post-braces but pre-bungalow, saving you the Google searching and Reddit threading one video at a time. Step 1. Budgeting. The first step to budgeting is knowing how much you usually spend. So for 1 month, record every purchase that you make. All of them. You don't always have to do this, but it gives you a sense of awareness. If the number you come up with is shocking, like who knew I was drinking enough bubble tea for a small Chinese daycare, then it's time to start setting limits. So my household would be myself and my roommate, and we do our grocery shopping together. We go once a week typically, and that trip is usually around $70, so my share is $35. When I take you grocery shopping, I'll show you what I usually get. Every third week, it's a bigger haul, and that's when we restock like staples, and it's more like $120, so $60 for me. In total, that's $165 a month, about $40 a week. To put that into perspective, when I lived in dorm and was eating on a meal plan, it equaled about $23 a day, which is $161 a week. To get your true monthly expenses, you'd obviously include your rent and utilities. So let's go back to the bubble tea I mentioned earlier. When I moved into my first apartment, I included in my monthly budget 2 beverages a week. At about $7 to $10, that's $20 a week and $80 a month. I budget for 1 dinner a week that isn't cooked at home. That's about $30 a person, so $30 a week, and $120 a month. Notice how 1 takeout meal a week equals almost the same monthly as my entire grocery budget. I also won't lie to you, I love a night on the town. You're looking at about $50 for a night out. If you go out every other weekend, then that's $100 a month. You can save money by using bars' happy hours or their cheap specialty nights to your advantage, choosing bars that are walking distance, pre-drinking at home to save money at the bar. Adding that to our monthly grocery total of $165 a month, that's now more like $465 spending. When I built this budget, I was earning $375 a week. That's $1,500 a month. After rent and utilities and the $465 spending I just showed you, I would have max $20 to save. It's rare as a student working part-time, your income alone could cover your entire living costs. So I use my savings to supplement that. If you didn't have savings or an RESP or student loans, the first place you'd want to trim to make that number smaller would be the recreational spending. Step 2, on to the grocery shopping. Come on, let's go. Let's go to the store. I'm still in Saskatoon too, so it's definitely gonna be cheaper than my groceries in Toronto. So I highly recommend buying groceries weekly as opposed to randomly or daily with that night's dinner in mind, because it'll get you to use up everything before you buy more. It'll also make it so you can buy in bulk, and you'll be buying intentionally, saving you money and minimizing waste. So before you go to the store, plan your meals for the week, or at least have a loose idea of what they're going to be, so you can buy things efficiently and alleviate some of that stress of having to decide your meals on the fly. So I rotate the same kind of 6 to 8 meals, and also my roommate is a vegetarian, so I cook vegetarian just because it's easiest. So for the most part, it's the same grocery list every week with some slight variations. What I would recommend you do is think of a few dishes you like and find recipes for those dishes. Cook them a couple times, get familiar with them, and then you can start using it as more of a template than a recipe. The other approach to meal planning I use is ingredient first. How many ways can I reuse the same ingredients? I'll make black bean burritos and then the next day reuse the beans to make kale and sweet potato bowls. Cooking for yourself doesn't need to mean eating the same meal every night. And variety doesn't require a huge ingredients list. You just have to get a little creative. You can also save money by shopping with what's in season in mind. Buying summer fruits, for example, in the middle of winter will be more expensive because it costs more to get them in store. Buying in bulk will also save you money, like buying a sack of avocados versus buying them individually. However, if you only live with one other person like me, this doesn't always make sense if you're not going to eat them before they spoil, unless it's something you can freeze. But with non-perishables, this is always preferred. And when choosing a grocery store, places like Loblaws or No Frills will be what you want to look for. So on a trip where I was restocking like mostly everything, my grocery list would be, here we are. Bread, chickpeas, black beans, soup, avocados, sweet potato, vegetables, hummus, cheese, pasta sauce, and eggs. Things I don't buy weekly but would recommend as staples are rice, pasta, noodles, quinoa, wraps, and seasoning. Some basics are like garlic, onion, chili powder, cumin, oregano, dried basil, just to name a few. I'm Chinese and I like cooking Asian food, so Chinese 5 spice is a staple, hoisin sauce, soy sauce, chili oil, oyster sauce, sriracha, sesame oil, fresh ginger, garam masala, coriander, turmeric, cinnamon. Up front, buying spices is really expensive, but it lasts for a while and it will make your cooking better. Like, you need to season your food. To me, this is a given. And of course, cooking oil, so avocado oil. I also always have olive oil on hand. Controversial opinion, I'm not a frozen vegetable girl. Besides the single giant bag of frozen green beans that's just rotting away in my freezer and that I bought in preparation for the end of the world, don't overcommit yourself at first. Don't plan to cook 3-course meals 3 times a day. Not every night is going to be a win. Sometimes grocery store sushi is the move, and in my eyes that is a win. And what's most important is making sure you eat, period. It's all about balance, like washing down a green juice with a dirty martini. So even though cooking is like the annoying cousin to adulthood that you don't invite to the barbecue, but it lacks in surface level charm, it makes up for in lifelong benefits. Yay, cooking! From filling out a budget, to filling your cart, to filling your stomach, it's all a bit of a learning curve, but I know you can do it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Mission accomplished.